So the door that goes on here, driver's door, is just here, and as you can see it needs quite a bit of work doing to it, one of which being to change the colour from blue to the mid-grey. In order to do that, what we have to do first of all is strip all the paint off it, which I will do with 180 grit paper. I'll just spend probably an hour or two sanding back all the paint. The reason why I'm using the 180 paper instead of anything more abrasive is because of the amount of filler that's probably more than likely on the door already. I don't want to give myself unnecessary work. So as well as stripping back the paint, another thing we've got to do is there's a bulge there. There is a bulge there on that side that they need pressing down. So we can get the same contour, follow that contour there, the crease in the metalwork. Need to take the hinges off, so we can strip the hinges down and give them a paint separately. Yeah, so on the inside, there's loads of rust inside here. That all needs removing as well, converting, priming, painting, etc, etc. But before we do that, what I need to do, I'll just rotate the camera. In fact, I'll just rotate the door instead. Right, so if we look at the underside of the door, this is typical for the Land Rovers to rot here. Obviously this is steel work up against the aluminium panels of the door. So I'm going to cut all this out. I'm going to get my cutting bit in the angle grinder, cut all this out along here, cut it all out along here, and then just build it all up with some aluminium mesh and some fiberglass and body filler. I will get it straight, get it nice and neat. You can buy this box section on eBay. Cheap enough, but it's probably just as much work, really. You know, when you got to remove the whole lot, cut it all, rivet it all back on, it's probably just as much work for the same outcome. So I've got the mesh, I've got the filler, I may as well just use that. So anyway, I've got that to do. I've also got to degrease all this here. It's all grease off. I don't know why there's grease there, actually. It's probably from the window, I don't know. Remove all the accessories, remove that, remove this, remove the door open limiter. I'm going to leave that on. I'll give it a clean, I'll give it a degrease, I'll mask it all up when I'm ready to paint the inside of the door, which will hopefully be today. But the first thing, I think I've just covered everything there that I'm going to be doing to the door, but the first thing I'm going to do is cut this off, take it all back to its, to get rid of all the rust. I will then use the degreaser to grease all the door, all the inside of the door, get rid of all the grease. I will then use the rust converter for inside of this channel here, or box, whatever it is. Wherever there's any rust, put the rust converter on there. If there's any thick rust like it is here, I'm going to sand that back first of all, probably with a wire brush. Strip all that rust off so it's smooth, put the rust converter on there, the acid, the phosphoric acid, and then it will be a case of etch priming any bare metal work, priming the whole door, painting the door and the inside, and then start work on the outside, on the exterior. The bulges that we looked at on the face on the front side, these bulges here, 1 and 2, they will be done before the inside of the door is painted. So anyway, let's get cracking. Make sure it's unplugged first. Voice of experience. Nice thin cutting disc. Just use the engine degreaser. It's heavy duty stuff, so it should, well, it has removed all of the grease and oil and years of grime and whatnot. So the next thing we're going to do now is use the rust converter, and what the stuff I'm using here is a Scale X 45% phosphoric acid. I'll just leave this here now for a few minutes. Whilst I get on with something else. Now with the sanding block and the 80 grit sandpaper all the way along to the point where I can now begin to use just normal car body filler. Before doing that, I'm just going to use a small piece of sandpaper and just by hand get rid of any little parts that shouldn't be there, little bits sticking up here and there. That'll be easier then to sand back the body filler once the first coat of that has been applied and dried. So it's looking good now, got the profile there, it's the right thickness pretty much all the way along. So we just need to add the filler to the low spots now just to bulk it out.